can't find my way now. I just need you by my side. Lately, I've been thinking, baby, we could get away and never look back.